Hello, lovelies. Happy Sunday. So, I thought I would come on today and share a story with you. It feels like a really nice, calm, peaceful Sunday morning, like a spiritual Sunday. And as I was having coffee this morning, I had um, a visual pop into my awareness, and my guides were reminding me of a particular event that happened about 5 years ago. And I felt like the purpose of that was to share a bit of a talk around energy and how there's energetic shifts around in our life or things that affect our energy and affect us in ways that we would never even think about. So I thought I would pop on here and tell you a story about that. Before I start the story, though, did any of you experience any weird kind of energy yesterday? My Saturday was the most bizarre day ever. Like literally it felt like Saturday was wiped off the map for me, and I was just, ripped off one day in a weekend because it was like I woke up on Saturday morning. I was in a time warp all day or wormhole, and before you knew it, the day was done. And it's like, okay, where did my Saturday go? So the weirdest day for me. So if you experienced any of that bizarre kind of energy yesterday or just felt like maybe you felt really exhausted. I too yesterday felt this exhaustion, and I never nap, and I actually napped yesterday. So it was just a bizarre day. Let me know in the comments below if you had or experienced a weird shift in energy or time yesterday. So, okay. So, like I said, my guides, um, and if anyone doesn't know me out there, my name is Joanne Hughes. I'm an intuitive business coach and strategist. I'm also a psychic medium. And I, so while I was having coffee, as I said, sometimes I get, either it's like someone just turns on a movie in my brain and all of a sudden there's a video playing in my head of something that I'm meant to see. A flash came up, and then my being is filled with this knowing. And so for me, it took me back to a time 5 years ago where I had a gentleman reach out to me and ask if I was a psychic medium and asked if I would meet him at his business. And so I did. And so we talked about, well, he talked about what the issues or problems that were happening in his life. And he said, Joanne, I just had this building built. It's a brand new building. I'm so excited. I was so happy to be able to, build my business here and change locations. And ever since I moved into this building, I'm crying all the time. I'm anxious, depressed. My marriage is having difficulties. I was so in love with my wife, and I'm having all these arguments now and just not happy in my marriage, and sometimes even feel like I want to take my own life, and just end it all. And so it was pretty serious that he was feeling all of that for sure. And so um, I did do a contract with him. So before, I just want to take a quick minute here to um, uh, talk about energy first before I finish that. And I just want all of you to know that we all have the ability to sense shifts in energy, and that this is how energy that is around in our world can affect us, whether it's energy of the moon and the moon phases, energy of a forest, energy in a house that we just move into, energy from crystals or objects that we bring into our home from different places. And, when I was a little girl, I literally would lay awake at night and watch the molecules of energy that were in the air that just filled my room. And I would play with these molecules and shift them and paint with them and draw with them and move them around. And I would lie awake and, oftentimes wouldn't sleep till midnight or after midnight. And so, it took me a while to really understand what that was and to know what that was. But really, it was a great lesson for me to see that energy actually had physicality to it. It was solid. It wasn't, it's like when you look in your room right now, I mean, I don't see any molecules anymore, and really, um, at the beginning of my life as a child was the only time I ever saw that. But I guess it would be the same if you were to, have you ever been out for a walk and you're hiking through the forest and you can sense the energy of the trees, the energy of the wind. You can, you know, really sense if there's an animal that's maybe walking behind you or an animal coming towards you. There's almost a sense of doom or, oh my God, like you just feel that. I mean, that, yes, intuition for sure, but it's also the ability that you have to sense a shift in energy. If someone comes into your space or is in close proximity to you, but you can't see them, there's a shift in energy that you'll feel that you may not understand. So just keep that in mind as I go through this story. Okay, so back to the story is that yes, he hired me, and so I did a property clearing for him, and I just, simply walked through his business, his place of work, and going from room to room, sometimes I would sense a shift in temperature. Um, I could feel it in my body where sometimes the energy felt heavier, more dense. And sometimes I saw um, energies, I'm going to call them. I could see spirit as well. So entities hanging around, remnants of an imprint of energy or something. I mean, I don't know what it's called, but I just call it. Um, excuse me. I just think of it as an energetic imprint that has eyes and a shape, but that it affects the people around. And then in the back room, of course, I did see an entity back there. So, anyways, so as I did the walkthrough first to see what I sensed and felt, then I did another walkthrough. I cleared each room, cleared the energy, went back home, and actually went into the Akashic records and did a property clearing that way as well. And, weeks later, he did contact me again and he told me that, his marriage shifted. He's so in love and everything's doing great. The business has shifted and doing really well. And so things shifted for him. And I guess the reason why my guides brought that story to me for a talk on this wonderful Sunday is just a story to get you to open your mind or to understand that other things in our environment can affect our energy, our moods. We can have energy leaks where, we're all of a sudden we're feeling fatigued, maybe moody. Um, it could be just, you know, even when I do energy scans on someone's body, sometimes it's like the energy in their body is really clear and fast, and other times it's slow and dense and thick. And so it's really interesting to think about that because I don't think that's something everybody really knows about or even considers. Um, I could walk through a crystal store and the energies in there can almost make me feel really nauseous because these crystals are either such high vibration, there's a lot of vibration in the room, but also there's a lot of different energies and frequencies of energy in when you walk through a crystal shop. Just as you could walk through an antique store and there's so many different energies in there, or walking into a house and it's so subtle, you may not even consider it, but why did besides maybe you don't like the layout of the house, but what made you choose one house to buy or to rent or to live in, and you didn't choose the other one? It's because we all have this ability to sense and feel the energy around us. And even if you're very present and aware, you'll be able to feel and sense the energy shifts within your own being. Um, I know too, like when I sold my home years ago and moved to a new town and I was looking for houses, some houses I would walk in and literally turn around and walk out again because there's an energy in spaces around us that we'll pick up on that we may not it may not click in our mind that that's what's happening, but that energy does affect us in really, really different ways. And so, in telling you and sharing you that story with you, then, um, you know, well, how would you know, Joanne, if, something like that was happening? Well, just like this gentleman, uh, called me up because you know, things were going one way in his life, and then all of a sudden there was like a real swift change in his world where, I mean, really big things were happening, right? Like, I mean, he was unhappy in his business, crying, feeling depressed, feeling almost like really dark, problems in the marriage when it was a good marriage, and then all of a sudden it went downhill. When things like that shift really quickly, then that's when you want to kind of take note. And, you know, if it's in a house, for instance, or yeah, if it's in a house or a building, you can smudge that house. And you can call in a psychic medium that does property clearings for sure. But as well, you can just walk through the house and, get some sage, put salt lamps or salt crystals around the house and even like different kinds. So I would walk into a crystal store. You could talk to them about it, like, some black crystals, burning black spell candles in there because black absorbs negative energies. Um, Clearing it with sage, um, you know, just being in the home saying prayers, sending, energy if you do energy work, bringing, doing Reiki to the space. There's lots of different things that you can do, but the most important thing is that now you have an awareness because it's something different. It's not something that we always would consider or think about. Just like when you go to a thrift store and you buy clothes that belong to someone else, or going to an antique store and bringing in antiques or jewelry. If it's jewelry, crystals that you buy from a shop, it's always a good idea to cleanse those by putting them in salt water, or putting them in water and putting them out under a full moon at night to be able to clear the energy from that because everything has energy. We walk down the street and we're walking through energy, just as I saw as a child, these energetic molecules that absolutely fill the space, any space around us. And so being able to really start to be aware of that. And you can practice and just do some exercises here for fun, which would be to maybe if you're going over to a friend's house, that you just quietly say to your friend, even, hey, let's walk through your house and try to see if we can feel the different shifts of energy. You might walk into one room and it might feel really bright and light, and you might feel happy. And then you could walk, into another room and it's cluttered and it feels heavy. You can feel that energy is really dense. So you can practice that kind of stuff and go through your house. Just sit again. I'm sitting having my coffee, and um, the presence or energy of my spirit guides are around me, and putting, images into my awareness, sitting there and just sensing the energy of a day. If you go for a walk and you go through, a field, feeling the energy in the grass, in the trees, in the wind, all of that has energy. And it's really fun to play with. And who doesn't know the game of the energy ball, right? And imagining energy within your hands and feeling that, sensing it. You can close the gap and you can, throw the energy and really feel it. Like I feel it like there's literally a warm ball in my hand. And so you can do those kinds of things. And they're fun if you're a business or a corporation or a business. It's really fun to do that with employees as well, which is a good exercise to do because it kind of teaches people how, like where their personal bubble is, how they sense or, they may sense contraction when someone comes too close to them and it's like, okay, you're in my space. I don't like it. So there's a lot of fun ways to play around with energy and to see um, how it develops into something else, and how it affects your body, and how you can sense it either in temperature or density. Um, so have some fun today with that, and, you know, try to bring a little bit more awareness to the energy that is surrounding you. It's always really, really important for your well-being anyways, because you can sense in certain situations the people that, either expand your energy or you feel like they take your energy. Where, what people make you feel uplifted and calm or happy, and what people make you feel closed off and heavy or overwhelmed, and some being around some people just downright make you feel like fatigued, right? And really tired. And so you can start to pay attention to that. What spaces elevate your mood and your energy, and what spaces, take away your energy and make you feel tired and like your energy is totally zapped. And you can do that for people as well. And it's really interesting to really become aware of that, because don't you want to know, what takes energy from you and what gives you energy? It really is. Um, I love that kind of topics, those kinds of topics, and, being aware of buildings and your space, your own home, and the energy that you feel in there and how it gives or takes. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Drop a comment in the comment section below this video to let me know, about your Saturday, and did anyone else experience some weird energy? And then, have you ever experienced energy shifts within a home where you thought maybe there was entities in the home, spirits, or just, you felt weird in the house? Any kind of experiences that you've had around energy? in spaces and people. I would love to have you comment below and hear your stories. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Blessings, namaste, and we will talk to you again.